I am 73, and this ordinary Tuesday morning, holding the last letter my sister Ruth ever wrote me, I finally stopped waiting for the 2 words she was never going to say. Before we begin, if these honest words are a comfort to you, subscribe to the channel. That way, we can keep walking this road together. My coffee was going cold on the windowsill. I remember that. The morning light came in slow across the kitchen, and I sat in the one chair by the window with the letter open in my hands. Her handwriting, still the same loops she made as a girl, and it was such a warm, chatty letter, you know. All about her grandchildren, the little one starting school, the garden she was proud of that summer. Not one word about what she did, so let me tell you what she did plainly, because I carried it a long time. In the summer of 1971, my sister Ruth took what was mine, and when the truth came out, she let our mother believe that I was the liar. She stood there and said nothing, and I was the one who wore it. 52 years. I sat there that Tuesday, and I read to the end, and I turned the page over hoping, still hoping, as 73, like a girl, and there was nothing, just love to the family and her name at the bottom. I set the letter down on the wooden table, and something in me went very quiet. The apology was not coming. And if I am honest with you, looking back over all those years, it never had been. I had been waiting for a train that was never on the schedule. Maybe you know that feeling. Maybe there is a name doing the same thing to you right now, someone whose 2 words you are still waiting for, a sister, a brother who wronged you and never looked back, a mother or a father who chose wrong and never once said so, a hurt you quietly assumed you would carry all the way to your grave. I want to tell you something I am not proud of. For years and years I prayed, but I prayed the wrong way. I did not pray to be free of it. I prayed for Ruth to feel sorry. I asked God night after night to make her ache the way I ached, as if her guilt would finally pay me back, as if her sorrow was a bill she owed me. And one day it would clear. It never cleared. That is the thing. I kept waiting for the account to balance, and it never did. It only grew. Like a debt that quietly gathers interest while you sleep, the hurt got heavier the longer I held it, not lighter. Every year I added to it. Every 3 in the morning I added to it. And sitting there with the cold coffee and that gentle, guilty letter, I began to understand something that shook me. 52 years I had been getting one thing wrong, and the mistake, the real mistake, was not Ruth's. It was mine. I had been asking forgiveness to be something, waiting for it to do something, when all along it was never that at all. The mistake was mine, not Ruth's. All those years I thought forgiving her meant standing up, brushing the dust off, and declaring to the whole world that what she did in that summer was fine. And I could not do that because it was not fine. She took what was mine, and she let our mother believe I was the liar. That was real. It happened. So every time the word forgiveness came near me, I backed away from it because it felt like signing my name to a lie. And so I stayed put, righteous, exhausted, guarding my little corner of being right, like it was the only thing I had left. Do you know what that costs you at my age? I would lie there in the dark, the clock beside the bed, reading 3 in the morning, and I would rehearse it all over again. The summer of 1971, every word she said, every word I should have said back, I built my case 1,000 times to a jury that was only ever me. Then something small happened, nothing dramatic. I was sitting by the window one morning with an old worn devotional open on my lap, the light just coming up. And I read a psalm. I won't pretend I remember the exact words, but a psalm reminded me we are held even when the account is never settled, that we are carried gently even when the ledger never balances and the debt is never paid back. I read it twice, and something in my chest went quiet, because here is what I had gotten so wrong. Peace does not wait on another person's confession. My peace was never Ruth's to hand me. I had spent 52 years standing at her door, holding out my open hand, waiting for 2 little words to be dropped into it. And they were never coming. They never had been. I had made my own rest depend on a woman who wasn't going to give it. Let me ask you gently, and stay with me after you answer. Whose 2 words are you still waiting for? Whose "I'm sorry" have you been standing in the doorway hoping to hear? Tell me in the comments. I read them. And if you're finding comfort here, subscribe so you don't walk the rest of this alone. Now I want to be honest with you, because I promised you honest. Forgiving Ruth did not mend us. We did not fall into each other's arms. There was no tearful phone call, no long car ride to sit at her kitchen table again. It wasn't a movie. She died 3 years later, still thinking she'd done nothing, still chatty, still writing me about her grandchildren, about the weather, about everything except the one thing. She went to her grave, certain her hands were clean. So whatever forgiveness was, it could not have been the 2 of us made whole again. That door was closed, and it was not pretending either. I was never going to smile and call that old wound a small thing, which left only one thing it could be, one quiet, stubborn, unglamorous thing, waiting for me on an ordinary morning I had not yet lived. A morning with the coffee going cold, and a candle I hadn't lit yet. I did not know, sitting there, that it was already coming for me. No lightning came, no warm rush of feeling, no choir, nothing the movies had promised me. Just my own breath. It went out of me slow, and it came back easier than it had in 50 years. I sat there at the table, the candle still burning low, and I noticed my shoulders had come down away from my ears for the first time in longer than I could remember. That was all, and somehow it was everything. I did not say those words for Ruth. Let me be honest with you about that. She never asked me to. She died still certain she had done nothing to me at all, still writing me chatty little letters about her grandchildren. I said them because I was tired, bone tired, tired of standing guard over a wound that only ever bled on me. 3 in the morning, after 3 in the morning, I was the only one still bleeding. She had been sleeping just fine for years. Most of my life I thought forgiving her would cost me something. Turns out I had it backwards. I had been paying the whole time. All those decades I was paying rent on a room she moved out of before I even noticed she was gone. Paying and paying, and the debt only grew its interest. And that ordinary morning, with the coffee going cold on the windowsill, I finally stopped writing the check. Here is the thing I wish someone had told me at 40. Forgiving Ruth was never me saying that what she did was fine. It wasn't fine. It was cruel, and it was mine to be hurt by, and none of that changed one bit. Forgiveness isn't a verdict. It isn't you standing in some courtroom calling the wrong okay. It's you, alone at your own kitchen table, setting down a weight you were never meant to carry this long. Nothing more than that, and nothing less. So let me talk to you now. Yes, you. Maybe you are 60. Maybe you are 70. Maybe older than that. And somewhere along the way, you quietly decided the lateness I'm describing was for younger people, for people with more time, for anyone but you. And I want to tell you gently that you decided wrong. It is not too late for you. Not this morning, not at your age, not ever. Whatever name just came to you. And I think a name did come. You can say it too. You don't have to say it today, but you can. When you are ready, you can. And if the hurt runs deep, deeper than one quiet morning can reach, please don't carry it by yourself. Say that name to someone you trust, a friend by the window, a pastor, a neighbor, someone at your church who will simply sit with you and not rush you. Let go of the apology that isn't coming. But don't let go of people while you do it. We were never made to set these heavy things down all alone. I won't pretend peace arrived all at once for me. It didn't come as a flood. It came the way morning light comes through a kitchen window, slow, plain, one ordinary day, and then the next. The candle lit, my hands folded in my lap, my breath a little easier each time I sat down with it. And I'll tell you something that still surprises me. It is still coming. All these years later, it is still quietly arriving, one plain morning at a time. You are not too old. It is not too late. And that is enough.